I always say to people who are coming into my studio when they ask about auditioning that they really don't have to be good readers when they read for a part. They have to be brilliant readers when they read for a part. Reading roles from a script when you've only had the script for a short period of time. The whole idea of doing that is extremely scary for a lot of people. There are stories of really great actors that cannot and still can't read well. And if they weren't famous people, they probably would never get cast. A famous story of Bob De Niro when he was starting out, evidently he was not a very good reader. And if it hadn't been for Shelley Winters, who was one of his mentors, who kept calling directors after he had auditioned and saying to those directors, "How did you like Bob? Wasn't he great?" And they would say, "Well, to be honest, Shelley, no, we can't tell. He really didn't read well at all." And she would browbeat him and say, "What do you mean he's not? He's great. He's great. You got to give him another chance." And it was, not all of us can have Shelley Winters to call and get us roles. How do you take a script that's been given to you cold or even for a short period of time and read it for a casting person like you have maybe rehearsed it for 4 weeks? How do you make it seem like it's an opening night performance? Because that's really what you have to do. They may say, "Don't worry about it. We know it's cold. We know you haven't had a chance. Do the best you can." They're lying. To begin with, you're holding the script, and whether it's on camera or whether it's live on stage without a camera, that script has to be a part of you. It has to be an extension of you. It can't be something that's an obstruction. And it's really not something that you can hide either. Because if you pull it down like this, then you're going to have to do this when you're reading. And how bad does that look? So you don't want to hide the fact that it's a reading. You can keep it up there. And if it's there, they know it's a reading. But the point is, it's easier for you to make contact with the lens or with the person. Usually it's a person that you are looking at to the side of the camera. Or if it's live, you don't even have to worry about the lens. But you want to keep it in a position that's not in front of your face like that, but that's close enough that you don't have to look all the way down. That's very important. Now, as you're reading, nobody talks to somebody like this and keeps their eyes on them for the whole time, except crazy people. I guess you could say they do that. But obviously eyes go like this, they go down and then they go up. So it's perfectly natural for you to look down and see what line you're reading and then keep going up and down just like you do in a conversation. Now I'm not reading, but I'm looking down, I'm looking away, and I'm coming back. You want to make sure that when you are reading cold, that you are looking at the script in terms of where it's going. You may not, if you haven't had time to really study the part that you're really going to be reading, at least you can have a sense of emotionally what might be happening. You want to have a sense of where you're going so that it's not just on the same level. You can sense that the emotional level is rising and that you can kind of sense that just from the lines that you're reading, even if you don't know where it's going to end up. You do know that it's not, you don't want it to be on the same level. So you're looking for a development in the scene from the beginning to the end. That will help you as you get to the end of the scene. You also want to remember that you want to keep your face up, because so much of what you're going to be showing is in your eyes. So when you're reading, you don't want to look down, as I said before. You want to see as you're reading that you can look down and then, as much as possible, make sure your eyes come back up. You also have to remember that you're creating pictures for the casting director, that you are physically showing yourself physically. It's not just the sound of your voice when you are doing a cold reading. You are you are showing emotions through your body language as well. So how you sit in the chair is very important. Is that character relaxed? Is that character asleep in a bed? Or is that character perhaps standing up? And if the character's standing up, you can even stand up while you're in a chair. It's just the way your body is positioned. In other words, you have to understand and feel what physically the character is doing while you're reading. That will go into not only the look of your body, but it will also affect the quality of your voice, because you speak differently when you're lying down than when you're standing up. It's a whole different kind of voice. You want to also try to, even on an early reading, get a sense of the environment. Is it outdoors? Is it indoors? Is it at a cocktail party? I mean, the scene is not isolated. It's always set in a place, and you want to try to visualize the sounds and the smells as much as possible, and all of the things that go into an environment. Watching a baseball game, if the scene is at a baseball game, you want to kind of visualize what it's like to be in that ballpark as you're reading the scene. If you're in a living room, you want to visualize and feel what it's like to sit in that sofa, to have that cocktail at your side. All of those things, you don't have to necessarily do them, but you have to kind of sense that they're part of the scene, and it will affect the way you read it. So it's not just words on a page that you're reading. You're trying very much to give the feeling of that whole world of what the scene is talking about and giving. Some of those, there's so many things that are involved in doing a reading, but these are things that I think are most important about doing a cold reading in an audition or even in rehearsal.